How's that? Is that better? I don't know why that was changed. I may have hit a shortcut key or something. Let me know if you can hear me. Good morning, Scott. How are you? I can see the bars going up and down now, so that should be it. But I think I may have hit a shortcut key while I was doing something in studio or something else, and it may have disabled that. Excellent. Hear a little bit of music too, so all right. So, thank you for being here. Happy Sunday. The Z95 Headhunter problem, which was I had like little half pins in the back holding these engines together, and I wanted to keep the cones because they were tapered engines. So I got these ice cream cones, which have a stud on the end. Right? You got a little stud there. And then you can put the cones in them. And then that fits in the back here. So problem solved. So the new and improved Z95 Headhunter is much smaller, much more compact, much more microfightery. I really like it. Turned out well. Second issue I have real quick before we do get to the build, we're doing the succulents today. So this is the problem I'm having, and I have a couple friends, Synthetic Mason and Darth Designer, helping me look at this. I'm trying to do this seam of this building right here, right? So this is just gonna be bricks all the way around like that, these grilled bricks, but it's this seam right here. It's, first of all, it's angled. The building is angled when it comes together, and the roof is angled at the top. So it has to be two different angles coming together, and I don't think it's possible to do this in Lego. So Darth Designer has sent me a couple images to try out, and he's going to look at it later, and I got another friend taking a look at it. We think we might be able to do with these plates. It's just a matter of like where to put them. The angle right here is almost perfect. Just a matter of like where to put it, how to keep it together. So yeah, so that's what we're doing. So, but that's not why you're here. You're here because we're gonna build flowers today. We're building these. What's up, Bubba Brick? How's it going? Yep, so we'll get right into it. Beth is not joining us today. She's not feeling well and doesn't really want to be on camera, and I don't blame her. Sunday mornings can be kind of like a, you want me to do what? You want me to like put on makeup and clothes and like real clothes and get out of my PJs? And like, you do know that I'm sitting in a t-shirt and I could be wearing PJ bottoms right now. So how is everybody doing? I have a feeling this won't take that long. The orchids were 600 pieces. These are 771 pieces, so hopefully we'll get through these soon. I don't think I'm going to try to go to 11:30 today instead of noon, because we have people coming over for brunch, and I want to be able to get ready. So we'll see where it goes. Yeah, the Botanical series is pretty baller. I actually now want to go back and get the Birds of Paradise, because that's the one I don't have. And then maybe some of the smaller ones, the sunflowers and the roses and the tulips and the whatever. So it looks like 3 bags for this one. The orchid was 4. But this is one where you can do... This is why I was going to try to get Beth to do this with me, because you can do 3 different ones at once. You can build together, and the box even says 1 to 3 people. So, you know, this is your first box. You've got these 3, and then those 3, and then those 3. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited. I'm going to go back and read these later. I always do. When I say that I'm going to go back and read them later, I always do. I shut the stream off, and then I take the instructions and go sit on the couch and read through them. So it's pretty cool. Good stuff. If you haven't done that, I highly recommend it. I'm going to close studio. Save Save changes. Yeah, so that that section of the stadium is going to bother me. I think the rest of it's going to be pretty easy to do. I think the roof is going to give me some problems. But that one section, like, it's such a small thing to get hung up on, and I want to make it work. And I don't want to, like, half-ass it, but I don't know how to make that angle successful. So we shall see if I can come up with something. Darth, designer, is pretty good. Simon's pretty good about, and if you haven't checked out his stuff, you should. It's amazing. He does military vehicles, a lot of planes and boats, and some helicopters. And he does Star Wars stuff too, and that's all very good. But he's the same thing. He designs it in studio and then does instructions for it. And he doesn't have, I don't think he's got a lot of his own things. He just likes designing them. So, but his designs are very, very good. So if you haven't checked him out, go find Darth Designer on all the socials. He streams on YouTube, usually like 1 in the afternoon on weekdays. I don't know that he does much on weekends. I think he works on weekends. Our time. He's in Italy, so it would be like 7 o'clock his time. The orchids were very cool. Like, I was very happy with how they turned out. Yeah, I think the series in general is just really pleasant. Good building techniques, not terribly complicated though. Really good final results. I think the only downside so far to the whole thing is the flower bouquet, which was one of the first ones that came out with like the bonsai and whatever. The only complaint I have about that one is you have to have a vase to put them in, otherwise they're just laying around. Which, you know, that's not a dig on the build, but it feels a little like, you didn't want to include that? Please and thank you. I don't have any of these corner pieces in black, so that's cool. I have a bunch in white. These are nice. So this is another recovery day, because we went out yesterday doing barks for beers, and went to a couple places up in our area instead of going out way out in the middle of nowhere. But today is going to be a lot of, once I'm done with this coffee, it's going to be a lot of water. Yeah, same, Scott. The issue I have is that's the only vase we had. Like, I don't know where we got it in the first place, so we don't have a lot of flowers and stuff around here. So the fact that we had a vase at all was kind of like, really? We have a vase? Interesting. Some good colors in here. Light orange and regular orange. Very pleasant. The downside of these sets for me is they're very pretty, and I'll keep them together forever, probably. But they come with such a good array of colored pieces that I want to use them just for the parts. So this may be a good excuse to go get second sets and just part them out. Like, I mean, the barbs, the teeth, and like that light lime green. I mean, even simple things like the 1x1 clips in green, sand green, ones of those. Yeah. Good colors for these curved slopes, that kind of stuff. I mean, hinges in sand green, very cool. So what's everybody's plans today? Anybody doing any Lego shopping or any Lego building or any sorting? Ooh, this is a new piece for me. It's a 1x2 modified slope with like a trim. This is really cool because this is exactly kind of what I might need for the stadium to solve my problem. Yeah, like perfectly. I need to see what colors these come in. It's a very shallow slope that looks like it's about 18 degrees, maybe 20. It's about the same degree as like those grilled slopes. And then it leans out, right? So it's not a 2x2, it's a 1x2. And it's got that angle that leans out, and then it's a little clipped on the end. These are fantastic. Well, I'm definitely intrigued by these parts, so that may be something to look into. I doubt they come in anything but this color. Maybe like a blue or something I can see them. Ooh, getting close to being done with the cantina. It's going to be so much fun. What color do they come in the Speed Champion sets? Are they still orange? Light orange? Hot orange? I don't know what color that orange is. Yeah, I'd like to wait and see what all the sets, you know, have them be out for a little bit. But, you know, I don't want to wait too long. I'm also not spending any more for a little bit, except for maybe the Optimus Prime coming up. Like, I want the Pyramid and the N1, but I can wait on those. All right, so there's your first one. What is this one? The orange Echeveria. Here's your orange Echeveria. Very nice and simple. If they're in dark blue-gray, that might be the greatest thing ever. But I don't know. I'll have to... the other thing is they're probably not in Bricklink or in Studio yet, so I'll have to see if they're in Studio as well. Oh, this is going to drop. I like this one. What is this one? It's got a very Justice slash Daft Punk feel to it. All right, Scott, you take it easy. We'll be here for a little bit. So I just popped on to Doc's and Brick Hive's stream, morning stream. I usually try to a little bit before I start streaming just to kind of say hi and catch up and see what's going on. Was there a big thing from RFLM getting kicked out of something? Tend not to follow along with a lot of that stuff, so I don't know for sure what's happening or if it's like an important thing or just important to like some people. It's something I should pay attention to, or something that's like, nah, don't worry about it. And these 1x1s with the handles or the bars on them in sand green, that's pretty nice. Those guys. Yeah, this is a jam. The set number is 10309. I occasionally watch, I used to watch the review stuff a lot, but I stopped. I also don't watch a lot of the things where they're like, this is a new set coming out and here's the photos and I'm just going to talk about what I think about it. Like initial reaction videos. It's kind of like, I'm going to buy the set probably. I don't need an initial reaction. I don't know. Not to say that that doesn't provide a service for young people who may want to like know ahead of time if they want that set or not. That's fine. Set that aside. Oh, I like these pieces. These triple axle things. These are good for like the tie defender model that I absconded with uses this. There's it's not a bounty hunter ship, but like an old Republic ship that had like 3 kind of engine pontoons coming off it. So this is used for that too. It's just, it makes things so much easier than trying to figure out how to have one thing straight down and 2 things angled or something. Yeah, I think somebody got kicked out of a LAN for doing something, but I'm like, okay. The problem is, I feel like from what I was able to gather, they didn't know what they did wrong, and the LAN didn't tell them what they did wrong. So I feel like maybe that was an important distinction in their complaint. So... I think lately a lot of people are just down on the LAN in general. But, I don't know. Alright. I didn't realize these were that rubbery. These are pretty squishy. I didn't realize that. And we get a lot of them. Got these nice bar holder or pin holder clips in sand green too. That's nice. I try not to get too much into the drama of the Lego, the LAN, and the content creators and stuff. It doesn't do me any good. So, but it was just an interesting thing. That's all I caught. I mean, there could have been other things going on, but that's all I caught while I was watching. Orange and black. Well, hopefully one of these days, by the time I get everything else done, maybe it'll come in dark gray. But black's good. Black can be useful. This is an aloe plant. There's your aloe plant. Oh, it's not quite done yet. Got a couple more leaves to put on. They put what the plant was, and I was like, we're done. Not quite. Yeah, the thing is, if you, and I understand this, if you do, there we go, there's your aloe plant. If you do this for a living and you rely on people to come to your page or your channel more often, and in order to do that, you must do things before everybody else does. Like if I see somebody reviewing Optimus Prime set, I'm going to watch one. I'm not going to watch 5. So I'm just going to go to whoever has done it first. I understand that. And in everybody's defense who is a video reviewer, this gives Lego like millions of dollars of free ad time and space that they don't have to pay for. They basically have people promoting it and showing how it's built and showing how, and if for good or bad, it's press. So, but they control the narrative. It's their product, and that's fine. So if you break the rules, and the rules are clearly laid out, then, you know, there's consequences. But I get sometimes I feel like people are a little upset by some of the timing. I know there's, in watching the land, there's been a lot of concern over retail people having sets out early when the RFLMs don't even have it out in time. So there's been discussion about that. Nothing they can do about it, really. Retailers are their own animal, so they just have to kind of do the best they can. But I get that if this is your job, that it eats into your clicks if retailers are pushing it out and you can't get it, or you have it from Lego, but Lego says you can't do anything with this until this date. So how they get around that is they go buy a copy from Target or whatever, and oh, that's gonna suck. I didn't realize that was supposed to be at an angle. And then they go, oh no, this is the copy that I bought. So don't you worry about it, Lego. Now they have 2 sets that maybe they didn't want, but it's what you do. There's a guy in our lug who's like, are Ben and I the last ones to get the sets? It seems like everybody else got these sets already. Like, well, to be fair, only really like 2 should be getting it before we do. This is such pleasing colors. Just the pastels, and makes me think of Easter and spring. Growing up with those holidays and whatever. Times 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. What do we get? What do we do with the sets? Like the lug? So the lug gets sets as part of our yearly support. I think we get them twice a year. And we usually... I still have to kind of figure out what we're doing with them all. I've got a backlog of stuff from the previous ambassador. And what he would do is he would go... He used to be able to take the sets that Lego sent and then sell them back to the Lego store and get equal amounts of smaller sets so that we could give them out as... oh man, I didn't see that at all, did I? Give them out as like loot at Lego at our meetings, monthly meetings. So in order to get us, get a little bit of loot, you show up to the meeting, right? And then we would do a thing where everybody builds something in order to like kind of qualify for it instead of just showing up and getting something for free. If you built something and brought it to a meeting, you get a little thing, and it ranges from like a $10 to $20 set if you built something that everybody liked, because we all kind of vote on it and say which one do you like best. These go all the way in or kind of out. And then some smaller stuff, maybe a minifigure or a bag of loose brick or something. They used to send like numbered bags that were part of sets that aren't part of sets anymore, but they still have pieces in it. Or they'd send like just bags of stuff. So we would do that, and then at the end of the year we have a Christmas party, and if you came to a lot of meetings, you get, every meeting gets you a point. This is how we run it. This is not how everybody runs it. If you come to a meeting, you get a point. If you build something, you get a half a point. And at the end of the year, whoever has the most points gets the first pick of some of the loot. And that loot is a little bigger because we've been kind of hoarding it all year. We also have it available if you are joining us at an event. Like we'll take a lot of the stuff to Brick Rodeo. Brick Rodeo is a different entity, and it has its own swag. But there will be opportunity for you to get stuff there too. And if we do other events and you show up, you could get paid in loot for volunteering at an event. So that's what we do with it. We try to anyway. This first go around, I brought in some sets, and the old ambassador was like, "You were being very generous with that. I wouldn't have done that." I'm like, "Well, you didn't give me any pointers. You didn't say don't do any of this and save this for that thing." And I'm like, I'm just doing what I think is right. I also don't do a whole lot of shopping, so I don't know where to go get smaller sets that I can break. Sell the bigger sets to the group, and then keep smaller sets for other people, kind of thing. All right, so this is your hens and chicks. So now we can put these together, and they stagger a little bit, like so. So there's one. This one seems a little overpowering. I'm going to turn it a little like that. These big leaves on the end are a bit overpowering. There's one. And some extras. So let's see, bag 2. Oh, there's not really extras. I can put them together like this, and then we can put all of them together at the end. I see. This is going to try to get in the way of that. I guess like this. I'll just turn it if it gets in the way. We do raffle some stuff, but we don't raffle stuff that Lego sends us. We are not allowed to sell or make money with the things that they send us. So, raffling stuff is usually somebody has donated something for us, or we use money that we've earned as the lug from other things, which we don't have a whole lot of revenue streams. We don't have dues or anything like that. We can sometimes get paid for being in a place, like appearance fees. But in general, we can't really sell anything. So if somebody donates a set to us, or we know somebody's selling a really nice set, we will buy it from them and hope that we get a good deal, and then we can raffle that off later, or do we can auction it off. But again, that's nothing Lego sends us is able to be sold. It's just not. It's part of being the lug, is like nothing you get, lug bulk, project support, annual support, anything like that. You can't sell it. We say that we can't control what individuals do, but if you have a Bricklink shop and Lego, and I don't know how they monitor this, I'm sure they have people watching somehow, but if like they know that this certain piece was available in lug bulk and a lot of it got sent out, and suddenly your shop has a lot of it available, if they're able to basically track that you've been doing this, you'll get kicked out of the lug. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, but what items do you raffle? Oh, okay, so that makes sense. That's kind of the same. That's a little like what we do. You earn tickets to get loot, basically. Yeah, that's kind of the same thing. You earn a point by being there. But when you're at I think the difference with ours is we don't have, I think at most we were getting about 30 people a meeting. Between 20 and 30. This last couple times hasn't even been that. It's been like 15 because everybody's getting back into the swing of meeting and stuff. So, but yeah, if you show up, you get a point, and if you bring a mock, you get half a point, and that counts to the end of the year. But if you show up right then, what we'll do is we'll have like a bag of tiles or something, and everybody gets 3 tiles, and then you go around and you put your tile next to the mock that you like the most, and whoever has the most gets first pick of the loot that we brought. And usually I try to bring more loot than we have people, that way everybody can kind of get stuff, but you really have to kind of show up and not do anything to not get anything. And our group is pretty good about, like, I didn't participate, I don't deserve any of this. Like, they're real good with the honor system kind of thing, which is good. Flour, bunch of these guys. Do you get 60 per visit, or is there just 60 people signed up for the group? Because I know, like, our group has our Google group where we send emails out, and it's like the primary way to get meeting information and see who's active member. There are 350, but we only really have about, I would say about 20 active members, and it's always the same people, you know. Oh, look. We're using like Robin Hood hats as leaves. That's pretty cool. I like it. Oops. In fact, I just had a lady message. I've had 2 people on Discord message me and were like, "Hey, I want to get involved in that that AFOL Day thing. You know, how do I sign up?" And I say, "Well, I've never heard your name before. So I'm going to say that you can't participate in this one, but if you show up to the meetings, here's the links for all our meetings across the state." Because it's on Discord, I don't know where they're coming from. They could be in Dallas, they could be in San Antonio. So I finally made an announcement on the Discord server. It's like, look, if you're not the AFOL Day thing is a nice thing, is a benefit that LEGO does for active members of lugs. If you are not an active member of a lug, you're not allowed to participate. So if you'd like to participate in this, now's your chance. Here's an invitation. Here's our Google groups. You can pick whichever one's in your area. Go to a couple meetings, and maybe not this one, but the next one that we do, you'll be on the list for. Because I think people just join up to be like, "Oh, I saw this thing and I just joined and I want free stuff. Or I want discounted stuff." It's like, no, it doesn't really work like that. I miss a couple a year sometimes. They just fall on a weekend where I got plans with the kids or something. Even as ambassador, I'm like, I know I'm supposed to be at all the meetings. I'm supposed to report all the meetings, but I haven't been doing that. Because I'm really bad at it. It's so much paperwork. That's all it really is paperwork. All right, so here is your, what is this? It didn't really say what this was, but there's a succulent. This one comes out really easily. So I don't know if that's by design or if it's interchangeable for some reason, but there's one. Uno succulent. Right? Probably go right there, like that. And I don't begrudge people the desire to want to be involved, and if that's the first thing they see, like they stumble across Discord and they see the announcement and they go, "Oh, I want to be involved in that." It's like, okay, well, you can't just sign up for something and then get free stuff. Like, I don't know who you are. So participate, get involved, go to the meetings. Go to some events. You know, when people put an email out there like, "Hey, there's this event going on. If that's something you'd like to do, then do it." You know, don't wait for somebody else to start it. If somebody approaches you about Lego stuff, feel free to start the process with them, you know. We do a Zoom meeting every other month and an in-person meeting every 3rd Saturday. So we did WebEx meetings during when it was more lockdown than it is now. And now that we can meet in person, we're meeting like every other month at the library or the History Center here in Austin, because they have free meeting space. And then that's on Saturdays. And then on Sundays, we're meeting at Bricks and Minifigs, which is super cool. And that our first one, we just started doing that. Our first one is this coming a week from today, actually. Which reminds me, I've got to get building on the set that I was going to do for that. So it's very cool. The guy who runs Bricks and Minifigs is a supporter of the lug. He really, is a big fan of the lug. I don't think he's technically involved with it, but he owns a Bricks and Minifigs. Nope. Can I don't like this. Please don't ever play that track again. So that'll be fun, and kind of good for him too, because a bunch of AFOLs in a shop, they're gonna buy stuff, probably. So that's a little dangerous for everybody. I think we do. I'll have to check. If we do, that would mean me not probably ever going back to the Lego store. Unless I want to... See, here's the thing. You can go to get bricks and go to the pick-a-brick wall and get something. Oh, these nice color of these. I haven't seen this in this color. These boat bottoms in this, like... Is that sand blue? And that's a nice little piece, a little BB-8 head in that color. But yeah, I haven't heard that if we do get a discount or not. I know there was another toy store where we did. We used to, like, this was super cool. We'd go, there was a web page where it would show what's on the pick-a-brick wall. And at any one time, you're like, well, I want to go down to the Lego store. I want to see what's on the pick-a-brick wall to see if I want to get any of that. And you could then, you know, make a choice if you want to go down. There's nothing's new, nothing got updated. So we had a few people, and the Lego store was like, hey, if you have somebody come in from the lug, from your group, and just update the wall, just update the page with what's on the wall, we'll give you a cup. We'll give you a free cup, a big cup. So it was me and one other guy, and we had to trade off. But like every other week, I would go and get pick a brick, a cup of bricks, just for being there. Now I try to do it where I was like, what? I think I did this backwards. Turned it over, put that on it, turn it back over, put this piece on it. Yeah, that was a little tricksy. Flip it, do that. Flip it again, do that. So that was super cool. That was a lot of fun, but it didn't last forever, obviously. But I wish they would do more stuff like that. Like the store's kind of dropped off, and it's things they do for the public kind of thing. Obviously, there's limited things they do. They can't do like in-store builds and stuff with kids anymore, and that kind of stuff. There's another pedal piece in lavender. That's very cool. And purple, dark purple, pen holder bar handle things. That's very cool. Yeah, free Lego is free Lego. I mean, you can't complain about it, usually. But I think Lego has been kind of trimming back on... I mean, the AFOL day is a perfect example. Like, it used to be, hey, thanks for being an AFOL, and thanks for being a VIP member of the AFOL group, and we're going to take away all your stuff. It's like, what? Come on, man. Okay. I thought I put together 4. There's 4. There's another one. Oh, there it is. Okay. I didn't. There's always a complaint that too many of us go and spend too much. So yeah, I noticed that in our group, a lot of people go and spend a lot on the wall. And they basically drain the wall. It's kind of funny. I don't think there's anything you can really do about it, though. It's available to purchase. It's just like and we used to, and I think maybe still can, buy the boxes of it. So like, you know that there's a box of these things back there, and instead of just waiting for them to be put on the wall, you're just like, can I just have that box that it came in? this one's a little touchy. That's very nice. It's very pleasing though. This is a lavender Echeveria. Very pleasing. Put that right there. Yeah, I don't know if they're starting the boxes back up, but they keep showing, like, there's a couple of the employees are on our Discord, and they show us the boxes, and I'm like, does that mean we can buy the boxes? Because, I mean, the boxes are like $70 or something, and you get a box of, like, that's how I got so many 2x6 light gray bricks, which I've used for everything. Like, use them for support towers for the insides of buildings, and use them to, like, I used a ton of them to do the monochrome space station, just to, you know, bulk. It just, you just need bulk of gray. So they've always been really good. I wish I could get more from some other parts. I know there's a part there now that, yeah, this one's really good. It actually kind of, like, you can kind of twist it a little bit, and it, like, the petals will open and close. I mean, not on their own, like, you can kind of open them and close them. That's really pretty. There's something on the wall right now. There's a 1x2x6 trans clear brick, which I need for my microfighter stands. But I don't know when I'm going to be able to get back down there. So I'm hoping that summer there at some point. Maybe I'll go down tomorrow and pick up a... And they also have like 8x8 plates, which I don't know how you get 8x8 plates into a cup. I just don't. I'd be like, can I just take a handful of these and call it a cup? Because I need those too for stands. Ooh, these are the Apollo bricks, or the Apollo plates. I don't know why they're called that. Somebody in our group called them that, and I don't remember why. The hollow studs. Yeah, they don't fit. I don't know how you're supposed to get them in there. I like this song. Approaching Nirvana. I think I've liked them before. I agree, though. They can just, you know, don't bother unboxing those and go into all the trouble of putting it out on the wall. And these are cool. I can see a lot of people using these for stuff. These little branchy things, these tan branchy things. So my next mock, I'm trying to do a modular. I will keep an eye out for these for myself. I'm trying to do a modular, like, space western kind of thing. So not just like a scene of it, but like a modular, so I can build a couple of them and bring them and stick them in with everybody else's city and kind of interrupt it a little bit and be like, what is that space one doing there? Or have other people want to do it with me. Or tack them onto the end of the existing ones or something. I just like the aesthetic of... the very first bar in The Mandalorian is pretty close to what I was thinking of it. Or kind of Firefly-ish, where it's obviously the future. It's obviously a different part of the universe where they have spacecraft and some technology, but it's also a little throwback. Like they're settling communities on planets and not all of them function really well. So like, you know, instead of lashing a horse to a post, you would tie up your hover scooter. I think I've talked about this before. Where, you know, you'd have like a tanner still or a saloon or stuff like that. I just haven't quite figured out the aesthetic yet. I still want to try to figure it out, but not quite sure how to do that. But these would be great because you can put these all over these would be growing out of the sidewalks and stuff. Little bits of like dying plants and whatever. I thought I turned this off. So yeah, and I keep forgetting to take the cups that I already have to get the 50 cents off or whatever it is, because I've got like 20 cups and I just keep getting more. I use them to kind of sort a little bit when I'm trying to find parts. I like dig out a handful of something in a bin and put them in there, and as I'm digging through, I'll be like, do I see any? Nope. And then I can kind of hold it there and then throw them all back in when I'm done. All right. That's so great. Don't like this. Not much of a whatever fan. All the way down? I need to remember that I can get smaller cups too. Like you don't have to do the $15 ones. You can do the $8 ones or whatever. Lost my voice. Give me a minute. It is a better deal. By like $1, but it's still, you know, pretty good deal. All right, times 8. We're gonna do this 8. First of all, yes, that coral, a disc, 2x2 disc. Is it 2x2 or 3x3 disc? That is a pretty color. I feel like Pick-a-Brick Wall too is, oh, this is a part I might need. I'm not very versed on like what parts are new or rare. I don't know why I don't keep track of that as well, but it comes down a lot for me to, is this something I can use or am I doing a project that needs this? versus, oh, this just looks cool. I think I need a bunch of those. That'd be neat if I had 300 trans yellow tiles. Almost done with this one, and then we can start on the third one. Should be able to get that done in time. This is one I think is going to be my favorite. This big old cactus with a big old bloom on the top of it. It's going to be cool. Whoever's designing these botanicals is just, and whoever had the original idea to do this, I hope they got it raised. Look at that. Look how neat that is. I think these might get in the way a little bit. It looks like they're going to bump into each other a bit, so we're going to see. A lot of pieces left over on that one. A lot of 1x1s. Eep. Sorry. Parent stuff, maybe. All right, final bag. Got a big old flower one, and I don't know what they're called yet. Dupers. Look at all these eggs. Eggs. We're a little ahead of the curve because I started a couple minutes after building. Whatever your autocorrect is doing, my voice is doing the same thing. Like, I cannot keep my voice from going out. Trans and dark, anything, you have to go big on PAB. Yeah, especially... I mean, you know me. Have to get all gray, all dark gray, usually black and white. And little stuff, little connecting things. Look at all these eggs, man. Look at all these lime green eggs. Bright tan or bright green. What color is that? Like, technically. Seafoam? Seafoam's more blue. Just light pale green. Cool pieces there too. That's good for Clone War ships, this dark red in that shape. Extra light green. don't think I have a droid head that color either. That's nice. Back in the day when we could update the pick-a-brick wall, we also we'd work with the store to have, like, not monthly, but maybe a quarterly display window for something that the lug built, right? Usually something we built together, a couple of people contributed to, but we haven't done that in a while. So that's another thing that's kind of like, I miss that a little bit. And it's not that the employees don't want to have us involved. They are just as big a fan as Lego as we are. For the most part, I think a couple of them may just be like, I just work here. But there's more than a few of them who are like, I'm saving up for this set. I'm hoping it doesn't sell. But they're not doing anything unforetold while working at the store. Well, that was easy. There's one. This is a ball cactus. Right, y'all. Ball cactus. Nice, simple. There you go. Oh, really? The surgery mech? Interesting. I can't wait to see that movie. This is an interesting piece of music. I hope it doesn't go wow wow. I'll allow it. It's not too bad. Oh, interesting. We got a bunch of little blaster pistols. Look at this. This is going to be used for a stem somewhere. Look at all these. Not something you think you'd find in a plant set. It's pretty funny. Oh, do they? That's nice. They think because they're going to get a rush on it once the event happens and people are just like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to run over and the pick-a-brick wall, see if there's anything extra I can get to fix a mock, or just because I'm in the area, I'll get some Lego. Because not every pick-a-brick wall is the same. I mean, even in Texas, there's some in the Houston area where they're like, do you guys have this? We're like, nope. Could you get us a couple cups of that? Ooh, these like posing stands in green. Interesting. That's pretty cool. I think at some point I'd like to get back into doing, or I'd like to start doing more out-of-state conventions, but I think I'd like to get through mine first, or Brick Rodeo first, and then not volunteer to do anything next year. I think I bit off more than I can chew this year. I'd like to go sometime when I can just go, I'd like to hang out and do a thing. And not worry about, oh, I've got to go make sure this is handled and this is handled. And I'd like to just go to Chicago in general. Just for fun. Doesn't have to be a convention. Pretty cool so far. Oh, okay. Any step that has more than 10 of something, I'm like, oh, gonna be here a while doing this. It's not an easy step either. These aren't real finger friendly. They're very small. Yeah, the eggs are great. I can see a lot of people using these eggs in like an alien landscape. Like literally alien eggs, just a ton of them. Now that you can get 48 of these things or whatever comes in one set, I'm sure they're gonna flood the market. Just have a whole big like cavernous area full of eggs. Whew. This gets a little hard to hold. Or manipulate. Oh, my hands are cramping up. Yikes. Oh. Uh-oh. Did I have a runaway egg somewhere? I think oh no, there it is. Nice. This one is Burrow's tail. Very cool. Last one. Hopefully this takes 15 minutes because then I gotta get done and go start cooking some French toast. saw it earlier. There's these great 2 high grill pieces. Those are pretty cool. Someone throws you a curveball, starts with this thing instead of the stuff all the way around it. There's the stuff all the way around it. Well, this was fun. These are very cool. I'll try to get some more. I guess there's only really one more, unless you count the smaller ones, like the tulips or the sunflowers. All right. Yeah, it's just interesting with the wheels and pistils and other stuff. What they use to get the shapes they need. Stuff like this. So I have another issue that maybe you guys could offer some advice. You've seen I don't know if you've seen the picture of all the microfibers I've got on the table. It's all spread out. I'm trying to find a way to get risers, to use risers or get successive rows of them as they go back a little higher than the one in front, so stepped up. So I thought maybe at first I'd get some acrylic risers, like the ones you see at trade shows and conventions and stuff, where it's displaying jewelry or crafts kind of thing. All right, so some new colors in pieces there. These 1x1, 1 3/4 high snot bricks, and these kind of gem-topped slopes in that dark red. It's pretty cool. The problem with doing with all those like the acrylic stands is one is fine. Like I $3 for one, right? But I've got 70 ships, and I don't need the first row, so that's down to 60 something. But every successive row gets higher and higher, so I would need double, or I would need something to put them on in the back, which means why wouldn't I just put something on underneath like another tablecloth just to make it higher? So I was like, okay, well I could get everything that I look at, foam blocks, wood's heavy. Like if I just put down a bunch of 2x4s and kind of stacked them up and then covered it in whatever, that's heavy, and then I'm just carrying around 2x4s. I looked at like foam blocks, but foam blocks are not cheap, oddly enough. So I thought that the last thing I'm thinking of doing is cardboard and making like a little stand, like a little step thing out of cardboard, and have a couple of those. But I don't know. I wouldn't be opposed to like a wood one that's like a frame with like stairs, like little bitty, 1 inch or 2 inch stairs as they go up. But everything I think of, it ends up being like $200 in materials or a lot of time to build it. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that yet. And the whole reason is so that I could raise it up a little bit so little kids can see all of them. Because if you're a little kid and you're like eye level, you can't see everything behind it, right? So if I raised it up, you could see all of them. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could get... That's actually, honestly, the cheapest method is getting 2x4s. Because 2x4s are not expensive. They're just heavy. And if I'm doing, like... Here's the thing. I get... So it's 5 rows, and I only need 4 of them because the first one can sit on the table. So it's 1 2x4, 2 2x4s, 3 2x4s, 4 2x4s. So that's 8 2x4s? No. 1 plus 2 is 3 is 10. 10 2x4s. I think that is going to weigh a lot. But, I mean, and it's like, how do I test it? Like, the only way to test it is to actually have it. Is actually buy a bunch of 2x4s. And then I've just got 2x4s. But I agree with you. I think that's probably the way it would do. Because I have my own black linen from the wedding that I can use to cover it. So that's not a problem. And I could even kind of loop it underneath and kind of do this. So it's like you don't pull on the front of it and the whole thing comes off. So I might try that. I might see if I can find a couple 2x4s. I also don't have a good saw, like a power saw or even just a handheld. So I'd have to get them specifically cut at 8 feet. I'm sure Home Depot would do that. Just saying, I need 10 2x4s at 8 feet, please. Actually, if I could get 1x4s, that would be better. I think 2x4s may be a little high, but I'd give it a shot. And maybe it's not as heavy as I think. Maybe carrying around a bunch of 2x4s is not as heavy as I think. But I feel like there's a better way to do it. But I just can't think of it without it being a system or something that is a lot of money. And it's like I've already spent money on the Lego. I don't need to also spend a ton of money on the display. Well, this is very pleasing. It's very pleasing. I like how adjustable these things are too. You can kind of make them a little off-centered, maybe. Times 4. Okay. Well, this is way too slow. I just now notice how slow it is. So yeah, I'll figure it out. I know I got a little time. And if nothing really works out, I just leave them flat on the table. That's so nice. That's nice. much rather done this early. I don't know why they made you do that. All right. So this is it. And I'm loving it. It's so great. Here's your extra pieces and okay, so perfect. That was an hour and a half worth of stuff. So here are your 3 sections. These are so cute. We'll lower this down a little bit. Yeah, perfect. So here's your 3 sections. What was this last one called? They named here. This one is called a red Echeveria. So they're saying this can all go together, and I don't know how that's possible. This guy's gonna get in the way of a lot of stuff. Can I raise him up a little bit? Maybe turn him a little bit? No? If I don't get these guys lined up, they poke each other, and that's no good. Lovely. Look at that. Look how nice that is. This was a lot of fun. I like the individualness of it and building each one at a time versus like a giant thing. Some really interesting build techniques. I really like the way some of these look. Like, I'm a big fan of this Cactus Bloom up here. This is very cool, the bloom inside that one. Some of these are kind of gimmies a little bit, like that's obvious. Not obvious, that's, you know, obviously going to be some leaves. That's very cool. But simple things like the Robin Hood hats as leaves, those are really cool. And again, some new pieces. These 1x2 mod, I think these are probably 1x2 modded plates, modified plates, because they've got a lip right here. So I don't know if it's going to be considered a slope or a modified plate, but those are, again, orange and black. They're also in the Speed Racers. This cactus is very cool with these spinies on it. That's a good color for those. I'm probably going to be looking at those. What else was really good? These squishy. These guys are really cool. These guys aren't as squishy. These guys are squishy. Good colors on those. Yeah, and a lot of these eggs, man. A lot of those eggs. So yeah, so that's it. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. I don't think I've got anything Tuesday. Let me look. I'm going to have to get back into the stadium. So, oh no. Tuesday will be out. There is a spring concert on Tuesday, which I will be attending because it is the last of the concerts that my son will be involved in. So I won't be doing Twitch on Tuesday. So I'll try to be back Thursday. Yeah. What is that? Okay. Yeah, so we'll be back on Thursday. It's just going to be either modifying some microfibers or doing Q2 design stuff. So if you're into that, I'd love to have you back. If not, slope on Bricklink. Okay, cool. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, and I appreciate you guys being here. Thanks, Brad. Thanks, Scott. I think Kodiak was in here earlier. And Bubba, thanks for popping in. I appreciate it. You guys have a good rest of your day and a good week. Talk to you soon.